Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Payson, and I am excited to have a friend of mine and friend of the show, Taylor Cahill, back on the show. Taylor, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me, Luke. It's a pleasure as always.
Well, I appreciate you being on the show. You always have a lot going on in your life, from coaching wrestling to competing in worlds. You've got an MMA fight coming up for LFA. Let's jump right into that. March 24th at Niagara Falls, New York. You just got matched. Talk about the fight. Talk about how you feel going into that fight.
Honestly, my mindset's better than ever, and I know I say it every time, but I really feel as if this layoff has made me grow as a man, and I'm finally ready to run. Um, I think I'm going to dominate this guy. I mean, I'm going to run right through him. My plan is to finish him in the first round quicker than the last fight. So there's been a lot of stuff going on, and getting a lot of good training in, but ultimately things haven't been easy back here. So it kind of gives me a different perspective on fighting, and I'm ready to just go in there and hurt this man. So the process was a little bit tougher this time after coming off my debut in Rio de Janeiro.
Mhm.
Um, I had a couple guys lined up, and I guess they got cold feet. A couple guys that their next step is probably going to be the Contender Series. So um, I was looking forward to a different fight, to be honest. The one that I could really go out and prove myself against a guy that is already proven and established in the MMA community. But he decided not to take the fight for whatever reason, and now I'm fighting Timar Miles, and I'm ready to just go out there and dominate this man.
Well, your prediction is that you dominate him in the first round faster than you did in your debut. And I believe in your debut it was a minute, under a minute for the rear naked
It
choke.
was 2 minutes and around 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay.
So obviously not rushing. It's systematic. Everything
Yep.
is a process, and there's a plan that I have in place. But I feel that with my skill set and where my mind's at right now, that I'll be able to do it in under 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Gotcha. And that, I mean, that's where you want your mind and your body, like you're saying, that's really hitting that flow state and really putting it all together. I know you just said that there was a lot of things going on, after your debut, but one of the exciting things that happened after your debut is you just signed to a really legendary fight management team. I believe I'm allowed to talk about it, right? We can talk about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's good to
Okay.
go. I just didn't announce it.
All right. So
It's kind of like I feel like it's a secret society in a way. They have a very very small social media presence, and it's like the Freemasons, for example, like
oh,
the
hey,
Freemasons of MMA. It's hard to get contacted by them. We're lucky to have Danilo, as a coach and a
sure.
mentor, and kind of acting as an agent. So he's he got us connected with them, but they're the best.
Yeah, you just got signed by Tough Media Corporation, known for being managed by Ed Soros, and the long list of champions and former champions from the UFC. Probably the one that stands out right now to me is the current 185-pound champ, Alex Pereira, and of course the former 205-pound champ, Glover Teixeira, plus Anderson Silva, Nogueira brothers, Jose Aldo, and I'm sure many others have all been managed by them. What does it feel like to be officially signed on that team? What do you think that means that they see in you?
I think they bet on winning horses, and I think that I'm a winning horse, and I intend to be where those guys are. Right, they're greats, and you respect them, and it may never work out that way, and in all likeliness, it's very unlikely. But that's where I've seen myself since I was a kid. Since I was 13, 14 years old, I saw myself as the pound for pound number one fighter in the world in the UFC, and so in a way, I'm right where I need to be. We got to turn it up now, and I got to trust their process. But the thing that really stuck out to me with Talia was the fact that um, they were able to tell me on the phone that they can guide me through the UFC top 10.
Mhm.
No other agency has told me that, and I've talked to every single other major agency as far as first round management, Sucker Punch, Epoch, Iridium. I don't know, you name it, they've
Yeah,
reached out to me. Um, Tough Media was professional. It was emails, it was phone calls. It was not Instagram direct messages or social media direct messages. It was more of a business. It was serious, and they kind of didn't chase you around and beg you and plead to sign a one-page contract. It was like they want you to sign with them. So it's a selective group, and they're able to guide guys to the UFC top 10. And as soon as they said that, I said, send the contract. I held out for him for a long time, and that was the plan. And you know, it's kind of nice to finally have that contract inked and you know, be represented by the best, somebody that brought in one of the first major sponsorships to the UFC. So
Mm. Yeah, I mean it's I think it's great that you had contact with all those other agencies to really make an informed decision. And clearly we wanted to get you back on the show to talk about your upcoming LFA 155 fight. The match just got official. I'm thrilled that you're able to talk about getting signed by Tough Media Corporation. Anything else you want to share? I know you've got guys from the shop competing at the state tournament and districts, and you want to talk a little about that. If not, we'll sign off until we see you next time.
yeah, I mean, this part, yeah, I'll touch on it a little bit, I guess, because this part of the season always, you know, excites me more than any other time of the year. It's postseason, and you know, Pennsylvania wrestling is the greatest wrestling in the world. It's better than Dagestan. We just don't compete in freestyle year round, but it's starting to change. Um, but to piggyback that, it's just something that is a culture here that you're ingrained with as a kid. You love it and you embrace it. So where I was at in my life and at the time of my life, and kind of having people wanting to make decisions for me or tell me what's best, and knowing that that's not, you know, the case, it was nice to kind of wind back and still obviously train every single day, but also put more focus into the kids and kind of get that passion, that eye of the tiger back, per se. You know, back when I was senior state, you know, chasing a state title, and I mean, we got a lot of good guys that they're really starting to adapt, and they're really starting to buy in. I wish we had more time with them. Unfortunately, they have to go, you know, to their high school practice and then come to club, so we don't get to see them there. I wish we were able to, but I think we have 6 guys competing, and I expect all of them to get medals. It's a tough tournament. It's crazy on the Giant Center. I'm happy that they get the experience to go down and compete, and you know, I'm excited for them. We got a few guys that I'm really excited for in the future, and even the guys that didn't make it, uh, they wrestled really well at the regional tournament. And you know, things happen. Sometimes you shake out, you lose positions, and you just got to make sure that you get back on the horse. At the end of the day, you're a wrestler, so you got to always keep that, you know, in the back of your mind. And how you come back from your losses are, you know, kind of what make you great, and kind of will give you perspective and allow you to become a champion. So I tell the guys that aren't competing this week at the state tournament that they need to be setting lofty goals for next season, and they need to be wrestling 50 plus matches in the off season, and they need to chase it. And if you want to be good in wrestling or in any combat sport, you got to be obsessed to the point where you're running at 1 o'clock in the morning because you can't sleep. You know, you're saying that state title, and it's 269 days away, and it's the middle of July, but you're still thinking on it, and you're feeling that deep pain of agony and defeat in your gut, and there's nothing like it. But you push through, and you know, persevere and have faith, and then you're able to, you know, have a triumph of high achievement, and there's nothing greater than that. It's just the walking embodiment of the man in the arena.
Yeah, and that quote is such a powerful quote for pretty much all combat sports. Military also uses it. It's a really powerful thing. I think it's great to kind of hear what you just said as a coach. You're growing as a coach, you're growing as a fighter, growing as a man, but what you just said to encourage the guys, the 6 of them that are going to be in the tournament, but also addressing the guys that didn't make the cut this time and what they can do in the future. I mean, that's the mindset of a great coach, not only pushing those that are already at a good level, but also those that need to come up. Incredible to
Ultimately,
get your feedback.
I think it's a mindset of a leader and the mindset of a champion. And champion is a term that sometimes I feel is skewed to only achievements, but I think of it as a champion of life. And when you're getting in a cage and it's locked, and there's another man in there that's a professional and he's training to hurt you, you have to have a reason, you have to have a purpose. And I feel that, you know, it's my duty to go in there and you know, give these guys inspiration, and you know, practice what you preach. A lot of people will say stuff and they'll talk, but they don't practice what they preach, and they don't go out and do it. And win, lose, draw, it doesn't matter. I'm always gonna go out there and compete and do the things that I say, and you know, give it hell. So I think that gives me a little bit of chip on my shoulder, and I feel it's destiny. I feel like I'm not going to be able to lose because God won't put me in that position, and if He does, it was for a reason, and can't keep me down. I never quit. So
Well, I'm honored to have you back on the show. Congratulations to all your wrestlers out of the shop. You got this incredible opportunity coming up. Going to be on the same card with Jay Manning and Gavin Teasdale for LFA 155, March 24th. So excited that you could squeeze time in. I know you've got a lot going on. So thanks so much, champ. Really appreciate you coming on the show.
No problem. Hopefully you run through this guy and get a few more and get a big phone call, man. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Absolutely. And a
These
big
guys are turning me
congratulations.
down, man. A lot of guys are turning me down. They don't want to fight me, and I want to fight good guys.
Well,
I
you
don't want to
just
sit and I don't want to
mentioned,
wait.
and you just mentioned the Dana White Contender Series, and this summer still has slots. They don't tend to fill it up till later, so there's always a chance you could put together a run and get on it late in the year. I'm guessing that's what you're inferring.
I'd rather just get a contract, but I would fight. I mean,
Oh,
any
okay.
opportunity, you give me an opportunity, I'm taking it. I would fight in the backyard right now. You know what I mean? It's time to start getting paid and it's time to start fighting. It's time for guys to start taking the fights. And if you want to be the prospect, you got to be the prospect. If you want to be the
Yeah,
best, you got to be the best. And I'm ready to fight the best. And I'm ready for anybody in the world.
that's the attitude to have. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Can't wait
Thanks,
to see
Luke.
what happens March 24th. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
You got it, bud. All right, bye-bye.